Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting off the new year with an absolute banger of a match. I don't say this often, but please close everything you're doing. This is a match you need to watch from start to finish. Might even be match of the year. I'm not saying that lightly. This is a game from the tournament that I started way back in May of 2024. The Master League. Yes, the tournament that everyone keeps asking me if I've cancelled because each match takes so long. Basically, the Master League was a tournament where I invited 64 of some of the best players in the world to play in a super tournament with extremely long timers so that they really would be able to show off their gameplay at the absolute best. Of course, this comes at the costs of the matches taking insanely long to finish, which is why it takes so long between each replay that I host from this tournament. But this one is from the semifinals, and it is unbelievable, I'm telling you. This is a match you want to watch. So, to refresh you guys a little bit on the Master League, there are two prizes for winning this. The first one is that all the ad revenue generated by this video will be donated to a charity of the winner's choice. They can either do it anonymously or they can announce the charity. And I'm going to tally up all the ad money that I've generated so far, and we're going to donate it to charity for a worthy cause. The second one is that you guys can donate. So any donations that you make on this video, I'll include a little Streamlabs link in the video description. Any donations that you make will go to the winner. And this, as I said, is the semifinals. So after this match, we have the finals. So whoever wins in this match will go on to the finals. So this has been an insanely long tournament. It's probably going to be close to a year in the making, honestly. And it's going to be very, very exciting to see who wins it. And as I said, this match is just spectacular. You really don't want to miss this. So, the players that we're going to witness today. Two familiar faces, one more familiar than the other, I think. We have Toulouse. He's made it all the way to the semifinals. He played in, I think he's played in every single Grandmaster Live tournament. He hasn't won any of them, but he always performs really well. As you can see, he has won 2 tournaments, both the Smacky Cup and the Quack Cup. Incredibly strong player. Doesn't really play Global League, so his rating makes him appear a lot less scary than he actually is. I think Deegis and I both agreed that if Toulouse were to play the Global League actively, he'd probably make it to 1600 at least. So he's a very strong player. And he's up against another player that I think is severely underrated. A guy that has actually never lost a match on the Global League, Dragonthus. He's 19-0 and only 1308. He's like one of those weird players that play very, very rarely, but when they play incredibly well. So another player that I think his rating is far greater than what it actually seems. Don't exactly know where to place him, but definitely in the 1500 to 1600 mark. And the map that they're playing on is called Shadow Drifter. This is an interesting map. It's very small, and it is in the S-Rank Hall of Fame, so you know it's a good one. Shadow Drifter is weird, man. You start with a pre-deployed lander that you can use to transport units pretty much anywhere among these shoals. There is like 2 river tiles here, so the lander can't go over to the other side. But how you use this lander is extremely important. You also have airports in the corner, so air units will come into play as well. You also have comm towers in the corner. And without spoiling too much, I'm going to say the comm towers will play an insane role in this particular game. Definitely, you want to keep an eye out for these comm towers. And as for the rules, it's tournament rules in that each player there's a 35-day limit. It says day limit off here. That is a mistake. I don't know why the replay is wrong on this. There is the 35-day limit in the tournament. I think it might just be a replay bug. And as you can see, look at the insane amount of timer that they have. 5 days and then 3 extra days per turn. This is why it takes so long for these games to finish, because these players really are using their time to their fullest. Stealth fighters can actually be built on this map. We're using Global League rules, so stealth fighters can be built, although it's a semi-low income map, so you're not necessarily going to see a lot of stealth fighters here, but who knows. Also, I am no longer blocking the bottom left property with my shoulder by popular demand. Hope you guys enjoy that. So, what COs did these players pick? Adder Jess. It's a cool matchup. Adder is the safe pick on Shadow Drifter. I think he's pretty much recognized as one of the best Shadow Drifter COs. It's a semi-small map with battlecopters, so that movement boost is going to be pretty significant. But Jess is a bold pick for Dragonthus here. Absolutely. She's more useful in fog most of the time, but she definitely can be viable in Standard too. I was very happy to see this pick from Gigantus. I think it's a very ballsy pick for sure. But definitely don't underestimate Jess. People have been talking crap about Jess in Standard for years, and it's so nice for me to see that she's finally getting some more recognition. Even D just is playing Jess a little bit now in his games. He's finally come around to the church of Jess. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, without spoiling too much, I'm going to say one thing. This is going to be a pretty long match. So strap yourself in, get some popcorn. We're about to watch an absolute baller. Let's get going. So, Toulouse in the purple trunks up in the top left corner. Gigantus down in the green trunks in the bottom right. This is a 2-base map. And that is very loud. There you go. I don't know why, but the C movement sounds using the plugin that I use is very, very, very loud for whatever reason. So yeah, let's watch how both of these players use their landers to get an early capture lead. What I like about Shadow Drifter is because of this lander, you get capture battles in the center immediately. This means that recons are incredibly strong. You can even use the lander to transport artillery into the center, which allows for a lot of mobility. Again, it's a very complicated map because if you look in the center here, these two river tiles kind of prevent you from going here. But then you got 2 cities here, you got 2 forests right here, which slows down vehicles. So Shadow Drifter is a very complicated map. It's not just like a straight open map, it's actually rather closed off, so artillery can be pretty good here. Toulouse opening up recon immediately, and it's going to use the lander to transport that recon into the center, applying some pressure to Gigantus' capture game. It's going to be a lot of fun, this game. I'm telling you guys, this game is going to be exciting. Gigantus goes immediately for the interrupt right here. You can see Jess Infantry definitely not at their strongest. At least he gets to attack from a forest though, so the engagement is at least equal. And we have a recon out of Gigantus right here. You love to see it. Double recon from both players. This is what we love to see. This is why Shadow Drifter is a very fun map. So now we're probably going to see Toulouse move that lander. Yeah, there we go. He puts the recon out here. And what's so great about this move? Well, the recon is now threatening 2 properties at once. It's threatening this infantry and this infantry. Just like in chess, if you can have your pieces threaten multiple pieces, a recon is much stronger if it can move in several directions at once. This is why the center is always a great place to place down your units. And look at the movement range of that recon. He's even boosting it. He's boosting it. That is so cute. And even using the lander to evacuate his 7 HP infantry so he doesn't lose it. Every unit is viable, guys, and you never want to throw any units away. Gigantus and Toulouse now both going for their corner airports, which is very important. And Toulouse gets a little bit of a free shot here at the infantry. Of course, it's going to heal up. But it's still good. I mean, this recon is still doing great work. Day 5 rolls in. Now, of course, Gigantus can attack this infantry if he so wishes, and that's exactly what he does. And because he's Jess, I believe... I just want to check real quick, because I'm not sure if this is actually a guaranteed kill. Wow, no, it's not. So if this was not Jess, this would actually probably not have worked. But it would have been a way lower chance. So just as 10% firepower bonus coming in clutch right here. So 1 infantry goes down. And of course, now Gigantus has this tank, which is going to ward away Toulouse's recon. But of course, Toulouse did get the city, but he might lose it. But there you go. Recon on recon violence right there from Toulouse. Nothing like opening up the new year with some recon abuse. And tank coming out of Toulouse here on the left flank. So both players are building a tank in their corner base right now. And once again, using the lander, Gigantus now going for the com tower. So is Toulouse. Gigantus going to get it a little sooner than Toulouse, though. Another tank coming out of Gigantus as well. No artillery from either player yet. But artillery can be pretty strong on Shadow Drifter, so I'm definitely expecting some artillery here. Toulouse now really want to deny this com tower, sending the recon and a tank down. There's no way Grogantus is going to get this tower now unless he brings... He needs to build at least 2 tanks from this property if he wants to get it. Not really sure what he's intending to do with this lander. It might be that Toulouse is hoping to evacuate his recon. But Grogantus is actually blocking right here, and instead of going for the com tower, he goes for the interrupt and brings in his tank as well. Tank comes in. And it looks like, unless Grogantus is going to use his recon, which I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He can actually interrupt it with this recon. So both players are going to be denying the other player's com tower, at least for a little bit. But here comes the tank in, and this is a solid position for Toulouse, positioning it on that city. So both players going, nah, no com tower for you. As you can see, the recon can reach. And yeah, as I suspected, Toulouse is going to use this lander to evacuate his recon. Placing the lander in front. Again, these pre-deployed landers allows for so many cool maneuvers in the early game. Pre-deployed landers are amazing. We need more pre-deployed landers on our maps, guys. Pre-deployed units in general. I think we should have pre-deployed APCs, pre-deployed T-copters. Just so much cool stuff you can do with them, you know? And here, Grogantus is going for it hard. Again, you can see this tank is not in range to defend here, so he's taking basically a free shot. A lot of free shots being offered up here. And once again, using the lander to boost the tank. Very cute. And a Jess mech, ladies and gentlemen. Jess mech. How often do we see that? Not often at all, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. This is incredible. I'm so hyped right now for the Jess mech. I mean, like, you almost never see it. It's a 2-base map in standard. But I mean, hey, you got the lander. You can transport the mechs, right? So, it looks like instead of going for the com tower interrupt, Grogantus is going to... Okay, he's actually going for the infantry hit. Guess he's like, fine, Toulouse, you can have that com tower. It's fine. Meanwhile, Toulouse is denying Grogantus' com tower. So very soon, he's actually going to be in a pretty good spot. But wow, Grogantus is taking some good free hits here, as you can see right here. Attacking here, attacking here. It's going pretty well so far. But now Toulouse is moving in. He's looking to encircle this tank, so Grogantus better get it out of here quick. Recon goes down. Another tank comes out from Toulouse. So far, both players have just been building tanks. No artillery, no battlecopter, just tanks. Grogantus withdraws his tank away from here, placing it safely, and using the lander to boost the mech. I mean, I guess the mech is a good way to guard these tanks. I mean, as long as you can keep it safe. In comes the tank. Medium tank from Grogantus, which I also really like. Of course, the medium tank, very slow, but with the lander, you can get it into the center incredibly quick, and it wards away any normal tanks in the area. Also, that Jess medium tank is incredibly scary. Once you pop your normal and superpower, it deals a tremendous amount of damage. A Jess medium tank kind of feels like a Neo tank when the power is popped. And it kind of becomes a Neo tank, really, with the firepower and movement boost, so very scary. But Grogantus has completely conceded this com tower in the center right now, so Toulouse is one com tower ahead of his opponent, which it doesn't necessarily give you like a winning advantage right away, but it definitely adds up over the course of a match. So Grogantus is really showing no signs of getting to this, and if he's not careful, Toulouse gonna get it. Being 2 com towers over your opponent, that is not a good position to be in. For Grogantus, of course. For Toulouse, it's amazing. For Grogantus, it's not. A mech coming out from Toulouse, of course, adder mechs, a hell of a lot more viable than just mechs, because, you know, with those powers, they get the extra move, and they don't have the firepower reduction. So for Toulouse, I'd say it makes sense to build a couple of mechs. Really questioning this Jess mech, though. I don't really know. And here comes the battlecopter, of course. Adder's battlecopter's far better than Jess. They get movement bonuses. They don't have firepower penalties. So if Toulouse can turn this into kind of like an air battle, then he's definitely in a great advantage over Grogantus. But Grogantus right now actually can take this com tower soon. I think that might be what he's planning to do, because Toulouse got a majority of his forces right here. It's going to take him a while to move them over here. Grugantus has many infantry in this area. He can deal with this and take the comm tower, which is probably what he wants to do. And here you go. Immediately, the medium tank comes in here. So we'll see what Toulouse can do here. He probably has no choice but to back away. The battlecopter will come in to ward away the medium tank, but so far, there's really nothing he can do. Not using the mech. Okay, interesting. So I guess he's going to do something different with this lander then. He could still move the mech over the river and go into the lander. It's not going to be a problem. There you go. Day 11. First artillery comes out. 2 artillery, actually, from Toulouse. So Toulouse is saying, okay, all right, you build medium tank, I build artillery. Artillery is actually a pretty good counter to medium tanks. But yeah, Grugantus now is applying pressure to this comm tower. I think he wants to take it. He might finish this capture or just go straight for it. If he puts the tank in front, he will get the comm tower no matter what. Unless, I guess, Toulouse brings his artillery over here, which might not be the best idea. But he could do it. And now anti-air and artillery coming up from Grugantus right here. So he's going to have a response to this battlecopter using the lander to block, which is very smart. And yeah, he's shifting a lot of his focus right here. So he's looking to get this comm tower, because Toulouse is going to get this one. I don't think there's anything Grugantus can do to stop that. So I think this is smart. And also, by putting this medium tank here, Grugantus is basically... Actually, no, he can't reach. Not unless he pops a power. If he somehow gets a power, he could go and interrupt this cap, but he's not going to be able to do that. So Toulouse is just going to take that city. In comes the artillery and the battlecopter. Of course, there's not really a whole lot the medium tank can do against the battlecopter, so he needs to keep this anti-air alive. But now, Toulouse is applying actually a lot of pressure on this side. 2 artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks. A battlecopter, recon. This is a scary attack right here. If Grugantus is not careful, his medium tank can get surrounded and killed. Like, he can place his tanks around it and move his artillery forward. So, very, very scary. Day 12 rolls in. And Grugantus now, he's going to set his sights on this comm tower. He actually interrupts his own camp to get the kill here, which I think is actually pretty smart. He's definitely going to get it at this point. And he has to move away here. He moves in his anti-air as well. And he's preparing for this attack from Toulouse right now, which is pretty significant. There is actually a lot of properties here that Toulouse can take. He's now capturing the comm tower. There's 2 great properties here which Toulouse would love to get. And if Grugantus just sits back and lets him get him, then that's not very good for him. So now Grugantus is starting to capture the comm tower. And he's blocking the neutral city with this tank, using the lander to block. Beautifully played. Both players probably spent hours in Move Planner on this match. There you go. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful, ladies and gentlemen? Battleship from Jess. A Jess battleship. I guess you weren't expecting that in 2025, were you? A Jess battleship. And it's beautiful. I mean, look at this thing. It completely shuts down Toulouse's attack over here. What can Toulouse do now? Of course, he's going to get the city, but he's going to lose this city again. This battleship is beautiful. It covers this city, this city, this city. Of course, it can't move, but it shuts down the entire left-hand side of the map. So Toulouse has no choice now but to withdraw. And Grugantus is actually looking to be in a very good position right now with this tower. Toulouse builds a Neo-tank. I'm surprised they didn't build a bomber, honestly. You'd think a bomber would probably be a better target, but I think he just wants quick units that can reach this side of the map, because Toulouse can no longer attack here. It's Jover. Like, this battleship will shut down any kind of attack. So Toulouse is just going to front switch. And of course, Grugantus knows that. Grugantus knows a massive attack is coming right here now. So he's actually moving away. But now he can start cleaning up the units in this area. Start grabbing some of the properties here as well. And that's not insignificant. He's actually... I'm surprised they didn't capture here. But he has a lot more. He has lots more infantries coming right here. So day 15 rolls in. Toulouse, though, is not just going to sit back and let his properties be captured. He's actually sacking infantry to delay the cap. Meanwhile, he's advancing on his right side with a lot of units. The Neotank is coming in now too. And Grigontus, because he sank 28k into this battleship right here, he doesn't really have a response over here, so these two properties are hanging. And Toulouse is also building a lot of battlecopters. I don't think Grigontus has built a single one, to my knowledge. No, he has not. So, wow. It's a pretty crazy game so far, but it's about to get a lot crazier, trust me. So, Grigontus, obviously, is just going to clean up those infantry. Now he's actually moving an infantry to take the com tower. So this com tower might get taken if Grigontus gets his way. More anti-air. Finally, a just battlecopter coming out of Grigontus right here. And now Grigontus really just wants to focus in on these properties right here, get them. He knows he cannot hold these two. These two properties are gone. Probably this com tower too. But a very scary attack is coming in from Toulouse right here. And Grigontus needs to be positioned to deal with it. Toulouse knows, of course, that he can't really attack into this battleship right here. So he's going to shift his entire army, probably focus on this part of the map. Now, this battleship will still be able to defend somewhat if Toulouse's attack comes over here. But yeah, that com tower is probably going to get taken at some point. Toulouse, his mech is going to take a while to get there, though, so... But Toulouse is going to lose these two properties right now. But he probably still wants to try and keep this one. Keep in mind, if the 35-day limit is reached, whoever has the most properties will win. So every property is incredibly valuable here. Toulouse is doing something, I don't really know why he's blasting open this pipe seam right here. He might just be bored. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't really... I mean, does it allow air units to shift quicker or something? I'm not really sure. It might just be that he has nothing better to do. But I'm not really sure if destroying these pipe seams really help in any way. I mean, it will allow tanks to travel over here? I don't really know. I don't really know. I've never ever seen anyone target these pipe seams on Shadow Drifter. He might just be doing it for the hell of it. Alright, so now Grigontus is shifting everything. But he also has to prepare for this attack right here. He's preparing his artillery. But Adder Power is ready, which can be very scary, so he needs to be very careful. Day 17 rolls in. Grigontus is ahead income-wise, 18 to 15. That is not insignificant, but Toulouse will, of course, take this property at some point. Grigontus has not even tried to capture this property, which I think is kind of weird, considering he has a battleship. But I think he really has set his sights on these two properties. But Toulouse is not backing down here. He's moving forward. Artillery perfectly covering these tanks right here. And his Neotank is, of course, ready to strike. Although, he can't really move it into the red line. But Toulouse is just building up a big army here. And looks like Grigontus is actually going to be able to get this. Of course, if Toulouse pops his power, he can go down here with this battlecopter if he clears away this tank first, or if Greg moves it, which of course he has to do. Careful, Grigontus. Your lander's about to run out of fuel. Better pop that Jess power to refuel it. But the thing about this is that it's up to Toulouse to make things happen now, because Toulouse is behind in income. I'm very surprised that Grigontus has not even tried to capture this property. I know Toulouse has 2 infantry in place to take it out, but I'm surprised that he isn't even going for the capture. Considering the amount of artillery that he has in the area, he seems to be playing very defensively. And again, when you are ahead in income, it is up. You can play defensively, because every turn that passes, statistically, you'll get a little stronger than your opponent. But Toulouse is equalizing here. They're both flipping their com towers again. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Grigontus now takes... He actually has a turn with 2 com towers now. But of course, attacking into this is probably not going to work. But finally, Grigontus is now going for this capture right here, which is very good. And look at all the artillery that he... I mean, just look at this wall. Who wants to attack into this? Not me, that's for sure. But I think Toulouse knows that this property, he really doesn't want to let Greg have it. So he's going to sack a 7 HP infantry to delay it. And he's even going to attack with this battlecopter right here, which is actually a safe move because of the river here. And in comes a bomber, which I think is a very smart move by Toulouse. If your opponent is building battleships, you might as well build bombers. Bombers are pretty strong against battleships, even on harbors. They actually do a significant amount of damage, as you can see right here. That's a lot of damage. That's 14k to 16k value in one hit, so definitely not a bad idea. But Gargantus is building a fighter. You know, I love the Just Fighter. I think the Just Fighter is hilarious. A lot of people don't expect it. It's more of a thing in Fog than Standard. But I mean, here's the thing. Alright, sure. Just has 10% less firepower. This is true. But here's the thing. The fighter still kills, right? With one com tower, the fighter still one-shots everything that it needs to one-shot. Battlecopters, bombers, the only thing it kind of struggles against are other fighters. But just fighters are fine. Like there's and fighters also tend to kind of run out of fuel pretty quickly because they burn 5 fuel per turn. And in that regard, I actually do like Jess and her powers. But looks like Gargantus is actually going kind of on the attack here, and he surrounds Toulouse's battlecopters. That battlecopter is toast, I think. Unless Toulouse can break it out. This is what you got to be very careful with. And this battleship is still warding away a lot of aggression here. Look at all the medium tanks from Gargantus. This is insane. This is a powder keg waiting to explode right here. We're in day 19. This is crazy. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this com tower. Gargantus is completely abandoning it. And that might be a mistake. Here comes the side slip. Toulouse has had it with waiting around. In comes the battlecopters. Neo tank kills the medium tank. The attack is on. Look at the damage dealt by that bomber. Medium tank goes down. And Toulouse is just straight up attacking into Gargantus's battleship right now. This is going to be crazy. And now he's even threatening the com tower. Drunk battlecopter for the win. Oh, yeah. That's a strong attack from Toulouse. Going in, targeting several of the artillery. He's really charging in hard right now. Woo, boy. That is a strong-ass attack. Look at the value difference between these two right now. 198k for Toulouse, 147k. But, of course, now Gargantus is charged up an overdrive, which he, of course, pops immediately. Here comes the counterattack! Battleship. Wow, 4 damage. Yeah, just Battleship's not the best. Using the luck damage to ensure the kill on the medium tank. In comes the tank. Artillery gone. Interrupts the capture. Anti-air takes out the battlecopter. Infantry moving in. Not movement boosted, but they're still doing their job. He really wants to get this bomber with the anti-air, but here comes the fighter. Clears the way. And in comes the anti-air. That's a one-shot, I think. Yes, indeed. Just battlecopter coming in. It's a very strong counterattack from Gargantus right here. And just like that, they've pretty much equalized. Very, very powerful counterattack from Gargantus right here. He ends the turn 40k value ahead of Toulouse, but of course now Toulouse's counterattack is coming. He's probably not going to sit back. Of course, every turn that he keeps taking engagement inside his battleship, it's going to go worse for him. But Toulouse has one goal in mind right now. He doesn't want to let Gargantus get this neutral property right here. Because Toulouse, any property that he can prevent right now is crucial. Because it's day 21. It looks like this game might go to day limit. And at that point, it's going to matter. Mid-turn side slip gets popped. In comes the tank. Neo tank plonks down on the city. Artillery goes down. And Toulouse is target firing the infantry right now, which means he really want to go for this com tower. Remember how I told you the com towers are going to play a very significant role in this game? Pay attention to this com tower, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be important. Tank comes in. Lander has to go back for fuel. Another artillery coming out from Toulouse. So both players beating the hell out of each other, but no one really coming out on top. Now Gargantus is going to use his infantry to clear out Toulouse's infantry right here. And he even denies the com tower, which is very smart. Lander's still alive. Thanks to the Jest power, it is refueled, so it doesn't need to go back. Which is good, because there's a battleship on the harbor. Wait, who did the battleship fire on? I actually didn't catch that. The battleship fired on... Surely it has to fire on the Neo-Tank. I didn't see who... What? Oh. Sorry, I really just want to see. I want to see who the battleship is targeting. Oh, he target fired the anti-air. Okay, yeah, to keep his fighter alive. That makes sense. Yeah, this may seem like a bit of a weird move, but it actually isn't. Because if we really look at the damage that the battleship is doing to the Neo-Tank, it's not that significant. 6k worth of value. It's actually better to target fire the anti-air and ensure that this fighter lives. Because this fighter, keep in mind, it's not just good against battlecopters, but it's also a blocker. On Shadow Drifter, look, that's exactly what Gargantus is doing right now. He's using the fighter and the lander to block this advance right here. Shadow Drifter is a very choky map, so a single fighter can actually be very helpful in this regard. So we are on day 22, ladies and gentlemen, and it doesn't look like either player has a big advantage over the other. Still a very even game. Toulouse is starting to capture this com tower with a 2 HP infantry. That's going to take about, what, 10 turns? Using the lander to switch some of his forces around. And Toulouse has one goal in mind right now, and that is just to prevent Gargantus from taking the city. But he's playing defensively right now. He can continue to take engagements inside that battleship's range. That is just not a good idea. And again, what did I tell you about the fighter? Such a great blocker. Toulouse really needs to get some anti-air out here to deal with it. Gargantus is ahead by 1 property. If he can just stall this out, he will win. Especially if he takes this property, he's in a very good position. Interesting capture from Toulouse right here. I guess he's, yeah, he's going to place the artillery behind it. So Toulouse is now placing a lot of aggression. He's now placing a lot of pressure on the right-hand side of the map right here. He's trying to go for this property right here. Even flipping a single property at this point is huge, because we are approaching day limit. Every property matters so much. Day 23. Gargantus continues to use that fighter to block. Amazing blocking tool. Of course, Toulouse has an anti-air on the way, so he's not going to be able to do that unchecked. But he's going to use it for what it's worth now. And he really wants to try and grab this property right here, but there is an artillery covering it, which is a problem. It's out of range of the battleship too. So now Gargantus has to defend against this incoming attack right here. He has to keep his properties. It is so important to keep his properties. Day 24. What is Toulouse going to do now? He takes out the anti-air, and he surrounds the fighter. The fighter is trapped. It cannot leave. This battleship does not have the firepower to kill this tank. Maybe with the... I mean, what Gargantus can do is he can use the battleship plus the tank to break this out, but Toulouse is surely going to have some kind of plan in mind for that. And now Toulouse is actually bringing in infantry to take over this com tower. Once he combines these two together, it's going to be his in 2 turns. So if Gargantus is not careful here, it's going to be 2 com towers under. So now Toulouse is suddenly looking to be in a pretty good position. Gargantus not coming in with that battleship. He's going to go on the offense here, despite not having a lot of forces. He does have a lot of infantry, but they're a little bit out of position at the moment. 2 Neo-Tanks, though. Solid. So he's not going to break out his fighter, it seems. He could have, if he wanted to, he could have used the tank plus the battleship to break his fighter out. I'm a little surprised to see him not doing that. I mean, he would have lost his tank for sure, but I'm not really... I don't know. This is a weird move on my part. Like, surely throwing away a tank plus a battleship to save a fighter worth 20k is worth it? Maybe? No? But no, he doesn't want to do that. He brings his tank away instead. to protect against these two tanks. Weird move, but maybe there's a good reason for it. Maybe he sees this fighter as kind of obsolete at this point. But I don't know, man. A fighter's still a fighter. And if Toulouse... I mean, there's still 11 days left of this match. A bomber could come into play. But Toulouse now takes out... or almost takes out... he does take out the battlecopter. And the Jet Fighter is gone. And here's another mid-turn side slip from Toulouse. It looks to be mostly like a positional. He gets a good mech strike thanks to it, which is nice to see. But it's not a super aggressive side slip. It's more of a repositional side slip. And now Toulouse is actually capturing here. Ah, and he's moving his 2 HP infantry away. With the side slip, he's actually now going to guarantee the comm tower. So Toulouse will actually have 2 comm towers ahead of his opponent. And that is huge. Because let me tell you one thing, and you may not be aware of this. When it comes to deciding a capture victory, comm towers actually do count as cities. So while Gregontus is 17 properties to Toulouse's 16, if Toulouse can get 2 comm towers, he will have 18 properties to Gregontus' 17. The comm towers count. So, Toulouse now getting this comm tower means that he's actually ahead. And it's up to Gregontus to actually make a capture happen. This is going to be very important. So Gregontus now, he's not sitting idly by, he's going for the attack. Taking out the Antire, positioning his artillery wisely. He has 2 Neotanks in this area right now. So he's pretty scary. And keep in mind, that overdrive is it's ready at this point. So Toulouse has to be careful. I don't really know what Toulouse was going for with this capture right here, with this battleship. Maybe he just wanted to give the battleship something else to shoot at. Toulouse now has 2 comm towers. He's now ahead. He's 18 properties to Gregontus' 17. We are 9 days away from turn limit. Gregontus still hasn't taken this neutral city. It has been neutral all game. So now Gregontus has to make something happen. He needs to capture a city. Quickly. And here's the thing. If he captures a city now, he would only be drawing Toulouse. Because Toulouse is 18. To Gregontus is 18. So Gregontus either needs to capture this city, plus another city, or he needs to flip one of Toulouse's properties over to the green side. So suddenly, Gregontus has kind of been ahead all game, and it's been up to Toulouse to make things happen. Now Toulouse is actually ahead because of the comm tower maneuver, and it is up to Gregontus to make something happen. And Toulouse's defense is ironclad right here. How do you attack into this? You have 2 little choke points right here. You don't. The fighter goes down, and Toulouse is like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good right now. I'm fine. Whereas Gregontus now is starting to capture the city. But he needs to make something happen right now. He sees, though, that Toulouse is boxing up his entire army in this corner right here, and now he's going to try and move in. We're on day 27, ladies and gentlemen, out of day 35. Gregontus has his superpower. But Toulouse is ahead, and Toulouse is building a battleship now! Why not? Why not? Solidify your lead, my friend. It sadly is not in range to interrupt this. That would be really good. But it's still a very solid battleship. And Toulouse can just keep sacking units into this capture right here. Not a problem at all. He sacks an Antire and a 1 HP infantry to get it. Not a problem at all. Operation Holdout. That's all Toulouse needs to do right now. It's up to Gregontus to flip a city. We got 8 days left, ladies and gentlemen. Gregontus has a superpower. It's the last one he'll get this match. There won't be another one. He knows that this superpower is where he needs to make stuff happen. And so he is gearing up for a massive push. Mega tank coming out of Gregontus. With this lander, it can arrive immediately. I actually like this a lot. A beautiful buy from Gregontus. Just mega tanks are a thing of beauty. So Gregontus right here, he knows he has to gear up for an attack around day 31 to 32, and it's up to Toulouse to just defend. Gregontus is on the offense, Toulouse is on the defense. Mega tank comes in. This city won't be enough, by the way. Just keep this in mind. This city will just draw the game. So he needs to flip a property. Maybe this one. I'm actually not sure if you have 2 comm towers. I think it's still a draw. I don't think you win just because you have more actual cities. I think it's still a draw. But Toulouse is like, hell no, I'm not gonna let you have that. And now Toulouse is even threatening this property. And he pops another mid-turn side slip. And he goes for it, man. He sees a weakness. And he takes out several vehicles. He decides to go on the offense. He was on the defense, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna take out as many vehicles as I can. Day 29. The clock is ticking down for Gigantes. He pops his overdrive, and this is gonna be devastating. Ooh, the Neo-tanks are coming in. Tank comes in right here. Mega Tank takes out the Neo-tank on the city. Their firepower is so disgustingly high. Oh boy. And Gigantes knows now that probably this is the city he needs to focus on. But he also needs to stop Toulouse from taking this city. And it looks like he won't actually get to take the city. Nope. Toulouse will get it. We're in day 30. And Toulouse is now 3 properties ahead of his opponent. And he's draining the ammo of the Mega Tank. Oh my god, he's draining the ammo. If he had attacked with this tank first, he could have actually taken this hit, but he might be building up power charge, actually. I think he's building up power charge, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing, side slip. Toulouse is relentless, man. He's keeping up the defense. He is guarding his properties like there's no tomorrow. Keep in mind, there's still 5 days left of this match. Still a lot of things can happen. Day 30. Still got 5 days left of this madness. Gigantes going in. Battleship attacking. So many artilleries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artilleries. In comes the mech. That Mega Tank is doing great work, but it is out of ammo. He needs to pump it just power to resupply it. He needs anti-air here to deal with this battlecopter, but there's also a tank that's threatening him. He builds the anti-air on this side. He needs it here. And Toulouse is just holding out. We're in day 31. Stealth fighter coming in from Toulouse right here. The ultimate last-ditch move. They are not banned on Shadow Drifter. We've really seen it all this match. Battleships, fighters, bombers, stealth fighters. Absolutely a crazy match right here. And Toulouse just needs to defend. He's now ahead. And once again, just pulls back. Gigantes has to make something happen now, and he has to make it happen quick. If he can flip this property and get this one, at least he'll be in a draw position. But he is in trouble, and I think he knows it. Another fighter comes out from Gigantes right now. He saw the stealth fighter, of course. It's hidden. And now Toulouse is just keeping up the defense. Of course, Gigantes has no idea where this stealth fighter is now. And the problem is it can trap his forces and really put a dent in his attack. Day 32. Gigantes now moving in. And once again, he's trying to get this property. He's using his lander now to transport infantry to the front line as well as an artillery. And now he's even threatening the battleship with 3 artillery. And now also going for this property. Yeah, he can no longer afford to sit idly by. He needs to attack right now. And it's a very strong attack. Look at the value difference and the unit count difference. Gigantes is definitely Can he actually pull one over on Toulouse right now and take these properties? It's time for Toulouse's defense. In comes the stealth fighter. Of course, the fighter is here, but all he cares about right now is interrupting captures. In comes the battlecopters. Toulouse is like just doing everything he can to hold on to the properties. Day 33. The battleship is going to go down now. Neo-tank moving in. Turbocharge mid-turn. Boom! Stealth fighter. Combines his tanks? Oh, he's gonna go for this property right now. He needs to flip a property. He doesn't even join cap, which might be a mistake. We're on day 33, and Gargantus is rolling over Toulouse. He's capturing here. He's threatening this. Day 34. Toulouse pops another side slip. Rocket is attacking the infantry. He's holding on for dear life. He has to hold this city. But he's crumbling. Gargantus has a massive charge in the middle. Day 34. Gargantus is capturing here. He needs to initiate with a new capture. He's destroying a lot of units, but it doesn't really matter. He needs to capture properties. He's got 2 days left. He's got a join cap here. But he's not. Is there no way for him to win this? This rocket is going to lock down anything over here. I don't think he's really going hard enough for the captures. He's going to be able to get this one, but he didn't start capturing here. Oh my god, Gargantus. And he resigns. He resigns. Was there a way he could have won here? He didn't join cap. I'm thinking, man, what a game. So I'm thinking if he had joined capped here instead of moving the infantry off and tried to go for this capture, someone smarter than me needs to analyze this game and figure out whether or not Gargantus could have won here. I feel like he didn't go for captures enough. Maybe there just wasn't a possibility for him to get them. Maybe Toulouse's defenses were too damn good. But I feel like it's... I mean, I guess he had to kill the battlecopter, right? Because going for this capture seems like a must. And join capping here, too. Why didn't he join cap here? Why did he move off? Because he joined capped, he would have been a 7 HP. But I guess it probably wouldn't have mattered due to the rocket. If he had a single battlecopter to threaten this rocket, I think maybe he could have won. It could be that Toulouse's defenses were just too good, man. But I can't help but wonder if there was a way for Gargantus to win this, man. Absolutely crazy game. Crazy game. Super well played by both players. Toulouse is moving on to the finals where he will fight Nanova. As I said, guys, there's a donation link if you want to contribute to the prize pool, as well as all the ad money going to charity. It's going to take a while for the finale to be played out. Because, again, the timers are huge for this tournament. But yeah, Toulouse... Let's look at all the opponents that Toulouse beat to qualify here. Where is he? Toulouse... Man, there's so many players in this tournament, I can't even... Yeah. So he beat Headpats, he beat Witty, he beat Rocca, he beat Tampomon, and he beat Gargantus to face Nanova in the final. That's going to be an epic fight. Absolutely crazy. I expect it to take a while. Absolutely expect it to take a while. Probably weeks, if not even months. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this crazy Advanced Wars match to start the new year. Long one, but definitely a worthwhile one. My name is Mangs. Thank you for watching. And here's to many more great Advanced Wars games in 2025. Bye-bye.